Because like if you think about it, once you separate, a few things happen. Like, what am I working for? What am I working towards? If it's not this relationship, it's not this house, the dog, the family, what am I doing it for? Money?
Like there's YouTubers that are quitting their channel, but they're just creating another channel.
I'm here with Mark Thompson from Sauce Stash.
Yeah, never thought I would do this video, but...
And I want to say, like, I am like incredibly grateful to be able to do this. But there is a lot of not fun work.
I looked at 2023 on YouTube as the big year of discovering myself, travel, going to Korea.
We're going to Korea! Not me.
Trying to find my actual birth mother. And we had a big release video, 2023, this is what you're gonna expect. And the reason why we did that was because we were separated at the time, but how can I still be amicable in the relationship and still succeed on healthy junk food? And that was, let's go to Korea. Let's like make a narrative of me trying to find my birth parents. And let's just say that because that didn't go well, that's 30 to 50 videos that didn't happen.
Yeah, gone. Yeah.
So what do you do now? And that's where the whole downfall happened. It's just then we're like, it's like,
we need to get back to work. We need to brainstorm.
We had 30 to 50 ideas.
Yeah, brainstorming's
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. I'm exhausted. And
we could just re-brainstorm, and it's like, this brainstorming already happened in the back of my head for months.
Yeah.
Like, so when all of a sudden those videos don't work, there's this, oh shit, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah, you're pretty much in a position where there's a lot of fear and doubt. Like whereas back in the day, you had you're set on your path and everything was ready to go, and then once it goes away, you're like, well, I really like. You're kind of in a panic, and then your content reflects that on camera. The fear of meeting the expectation of the previous video. It's like mining gold. You can only mine so much gold, and then eventually you're working so hard to mine more, but you're only getting a little bit.
Yeah, less and less and less keeps happening. Yeah.
And here's the real touchy word is quit. I think the real situation here is we're a business. We can both be burnt out. We can both say things. But at the end of the day, both business partners, 50-50, need to come together in a mature, professional manner without emotions involved and discuss the operating agreements moving forward. And not just rush to conclusions and have things just go haywire. Yeah. And just to be clear, I did not quit Healthy Junk Food. I was locked out of all of my accounts, and then a lawsuit was filed against me. What I learned from me editing is a lot of my jokes happen during the edit. So if you looked at our content as a whole, if we just put out what we filmed, it's kind of boring. You know, it really is.
Yeah.
And my only fear is that with the previous channel, what happens when you lose your editors? What happens when your editors burn out? What happens when they ask for more money? Can you keep doing healthy junk food? Otherwise, someone's going to have to start to learn and actually edit. And when they finally do, you're going to realize why it's such a draining, difficult job. And I would say the first thing most YouTubers do is they outsource an editor once they start growing.
That's what most people say, yeah.
Premium editors get paid like six figures a year.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to rely on the success or downfall of your channel.
It's the magic happens in the edit. So there's a reason why a good editor makes the money that they do. They are incredibly valuable. You're staring at the screen. You're sitting in this thing like You know, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, do I need to get a standing desk? I see some like people that I know that have the little treadmills. I'm like, maybe I need to get one of those things or something, you know?
It's such a sedentary job. It's almost like unhealthy. But also when you get zoned in and you edit for, let's just say you do like a straight 6-8 hour edit, when you're away, you're drained.
Pure exhaustion.
I'm like, I just need to go to bed so I can wake up and do that again.
I think I started at like 8 a.m. and I got done at like 11 p.m. is when I was, rendering the video.
And what's crazy, Mark, I don't know if I told you this, but we filmed a week in Fort Worth, Texas, and...
Does it look like I'm sweating?
Yeah, because you are.
There's tons of beautiful content on like authentic Tex-Mex food, the barbecue. And I really thought that content would get pushed out. I thought that would get dished out, edited. Like doing 10 years of anything is like, it's a good milestone of like a decade. Like you've done a decade of something. I didn't really know what I was doing anymore. I was just like kind of wanted to journal my life. So I think the one thing that helped me set free of the whole like prison of YouTube and ideas and trends, I'm not searching for content. I'm turning my life into content. Let's go through the timeline of what, basically was essentially healthy junk food, It started off as copycat recipes. Once you do all the good copycat recipes, like all the fast food places.
Yeah, what are you going to keep doing?
So then it's just like, okay, well then I started getting all weird.
You stupid long piece. Oh, you suck. Mario hungry. Oh, Mario wants more.
Doing, that could actually went a lot longer. Man, did I predict that?
This is crazy! Oh my god!
The giant stuff happened because I think I went to a bar and I was just like, hey, I figured out how to make Burger King onion rings, where it was almost like a onion paste. Well, if I could make an onion paste, I could make the onion ring giant. So that was like actually our first giant video was a giant onion ring, believe it or not. But once we discovered giant, guess what happened? Now we just went through the whole library again, just like we did the fast food, right? And then once we did giant, we're like, oh, let's go to like the world's oldest McDonald's. Well, what happens when you do that? Well, let's go to the world's oldest Starbucks. So now you're doing the world's oldest Taco Bell. You're doing all the world's oldest. Once you get that idea that can stretch videos, you get excited because you don't have to brainstorm anymore. Then we started working at places. Like we worked there for a day. And we did that so many times. I
remember that.
And then when traveling happened, that was like the no-brainer. Once travel happened, it's like, okay, now we're going to Japan and eat McDonald's there. And then you go through the list. Burger King, Wendy, KFC. And then you do that every country. It's like infinite content. And then guess what? You can recreate the foreign food now.
Yeah.
So like we were lucky enough to get on that rigmarole. And then during COVID, we completely pivoted to like building restaurants in our apartment and to reviewing like every frozen food, like every frozen pizza. But then after all that's said and done, right? I just mentioned a bazillion things we did. What now? What now? Once everything went away, we're talking the house sells, Munchie's gone. I have nothing literally like holding me back. There's nothing that's like keeping me from just saying, screw it, I'm just gonna go and try this out. Man, maybe I don't know. I'm putting a lot of effort into these YouTube videos. I think they're great and for me it's like art and I love it like because it's something I have forever. But at the same token, I'm like, during like the time I'm not doing that.
This is a shotgun.
Oh my god. Zombie apocalypse, baby. Where should I be spending my time to grow an audience? Because trying to do comedy, I need people to come to my shows in order for me to be successful in this industry. That's it.
You could have 20 million people following you on TikTok and it might not sustain a whole lot. Engagement on Instagram has tanked. YouTube's the thing that's stayed fairly consistent where it's like, hey, it's really hard to grow here, but when you do, it's worth it. And everywhere else is kind of like, man, you could grow here like crazy and it might be worth it and it might not. We could change everything in a day and then change it back a month later.
I think that the key, like now that I've like been stripped from everything and kind of restarting over from scratch, there's no better feeling right now than if I could just make enough to live my life. I want to be playing pickleball more. I want to be, you know, comedy could be a hobby instead of this like intense grind and chase and competitiveness. It is, the open mic scene is just toxic. I'm one of the first to get to this venue and they're like, all right, the list is there. And then it's like a pack of wolves waiting to get like a PlayStation 5 on Black Friday. Literally, I'm just getting cut left and right. I'm like, where's the honor? Where's the honor system?
I waited like a gentleman.
Yeah.
None. They're just signing their name up. I'm like 30th on the list now. I'm like, why'd I show up 2 hours early to be dead last on the list?
But look, oh, they're selling bucket spots now. I love it.
It builds character. So what I really saw would be the most admirable way for healthy junk food, because the separation, that was leaked everywhere. Like everyone knew. It's almost like, man, this just seems forced. It doesn't seem authentic. I think we lost everything that like we once had. It's almost like a relationship dying. It's sad. It's like a divorce, and your audience is like the family, the kids, and they want to side with mom or dad now, and they're like, just be. Can you guys just make up and be friends? I would wish the world for any of that to happen, but that's. I have no control over that. But what I did envision was, and I thought that this would be great. We create like a best of. We still manage and maintain our obligations with other companies, you know, with what we need to do, and we just upload less. Like only what's really important. Like, because we can survive. Like, there's a backlog of videos that people are going to watch, but just whatever it is that we upload, it's like personally something that we loved, we wanted to do, and it wasn't forced and rushed out. And then also I thought it'd be smart, because everyone likes to see spin-offs, is that I would spin off with comedy and then could spin off with fitness, because she really got into, and like I was very supportive of the fashion and the fitness.
I remember that the little coffee work day that we had together, that was one of the things that I told I was like, why don't you start working on creating fitness content, you know, like, you know, and you were just toying on the idea. We talked about like doing the comedy stuff for you, and I was like, man, it's like I thought that was great. Like, I love what you're doing. You know, I think this is right up your alley, you know, and you can kind of tell the magic is back.
And I think it would have been great. And then you could just get your audiences to go these directions. And then you can do what you love in the next chapter of your life. And then healthy junk food remains this beautiful thing that was created and can live there forever in all of its beauty.